Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal. I review nootropics and I'm going to share with you the most stimulating nootropic stack that you can use for improving your productivity, improving your levels of motivation, and improving your cognition so that your memory is sharp, so that your verbal fluency is good, your thinking skills are good. And I personally use this stack only a couple of times a week, and I'm going to warn you, it's probably too much for most people. So don't you dare go ahead and just try this stack without trying the ingredients first. I would of course recommend that if you are going to try nootropics, you want to start small, you want to start slow, so you want to try a specific ingredient, try a small dosage, ensure that your body's reacting okay to it and you're not getting any adverse effects. And I personally used this stack earlier today and I can say I had one of the best workouts of my life, and I'm looking forward to finishing the day on a productive note. And you really want to be careful how you use this nootropic stack, because stimulants, they often do make people irritable. They set up for an energy crash at the end of the day. That's unfortunately inevitable. And there's an endless list of other side effects that are associated with stimulants. But what I like this nootropic stack for is for days when I'm on the field, or maybe I just have a very cognitive demanding day where I have meetings, maybe I have to travel in the same day, or maybe I'm not well rested and I need something that's going to ensure that my energy levels are high and my alertness is high throughout the day. So this is the supplement stack, of course, in no specific order or no order of importance. First ingredient would be phenylprastam at a serving size of 100 milligrams. Then we have a yohimbine at 1 milligram, 200 milligrams of caffeine, we have 150 milligrams of alpha-gpc, and we have 1 gram of l-tyrosine. And at the end of the video, we'll also address the use of these supplements along with some of the phenols like armodafinil or adrafinil. And so I'll share a bit about each component of this different stack, and you'll learn about their benefits, side effect, and the reasoning behind the serving size, starting with phenylprastam. And what phenylprastam is known to do is keep you stimulated throughout the whole day. It's going to energize you. It won't give you that short energy boost that you'll get from sipping coffee, but what it'll provide you with is a longer lasting energy, often lasting 8 to even up to 10 hours. This energy is more physical than mental. For some people, they feel the mental arousal more, but for me, I just feel so physically energized when I'm using phenylprastam. Even when it's the later portion of the day, I'll find myself on my feet. I'll be vacuuming my house when my house is already clean. It's like you just always want to be standing, you always want to be moving with phenylprastam, and that can also make it the reason why you don't want to use phenylprastam every day, because you simply don't have the patience for anything. I'm personally pretty sensitive to nootropic supplements, so even a serving size of like 50 milligrams of phenylprastam is pretty noticeable for me, and I find it most effective if I take it first thing in the morning, about 30 to 60 minutes after waking up, and putting 100 milligrams of the compound right under my tongue and then letting it sit there for a minute. When it comes to sublingually taking nootropics, so putting your nootropic under the tongue, some people prefer leaving it there for longer than a minute, but I find that 1 minute is just perfect. And I really like what it does for me cognitively speaking. On those days when you use phenylprastam, you'll just like find yourself effortlessly getting through work and getting more work done than you could be doing in 3 days. The second ingredient, and this is going to be the most controversial as most people actually react more negatively than they do positively to the compound, and that's yohimbine, which is actually grown on a tree. It's naturally occurring, but it's a very interesting stimulant because you'll find that intense stimulation that you typically won't feel when you use something like caffeine or phenylprastam. And that's the reason why it is so potent, and the serving size, which I talked about, is only 1 milligram. Because if you exceed, say, over 3 milligrams, you're likely going to feel some of those side effects, including like heart palpitations. Like I wouldn't use yohimbine before an intense cardio session, but I do like the intensity it gives me. I like the mood boosting properties it gives me. And for whatever reason, my memory seems to be a little bit better. I think there's something to be said about yohimbine, like not only physically stimulating you, but also like waking up your brain to some extent. And one of the underrated characteristics about yohimbine is you'll feel more courageous. You'll be motivated. You'll be able to make that sales call if you have to, or do that uncomfortable activity that you know is going to lead you to getting the results that you want. I've also found that yohimbine is a bit smoother than caffeine. Like I find even if I use yohimbine by itself or if I combine it with caffeine, it seems like the caffeine crash isn't as significant. But that also means that yohimbine is likely to keep you up at night, so I would never take it, say, after 4 o'clock p.m., whereas with caffeine, I'd be somewhat more comfortable doing that. And you'll see countless experiences about people not being able to sleep following yohimbine use, so to be on the safer side, you can even consume it before 2 p.m. The third ingredient is caffeine at a serving size of 200 milligrams for this specific stack. However, you can consider adjusting this. There's some research showing that spacing out your caffeine intake, like doing something like 50 to 100 milligrams several times during the day, will help you to experience the cognitive benefits. That's just going to be depending on you and what your day looks like. For me, I work out first thing in the morning, so I would prefer a higher serving size of caffeine of like 200 to 300 milligrams. And the reason I think 200 milligrams is a perfect serving size is because once you exceed over 200 milligrams, you'll find that the caffeine crashes make you so unproductive, and it becomes very difficult for you to get out of that state, because when you have the caffeine crash, your mood is low, you can't think straight, and you experience brain fog, which is obviously going to to hurt productivity. The fourth ingredient is alpha-gpc, and alpha-gpc is a form of choline. Choline, we know, is a very important nutrient for the brain. It can be found in egg yolks, but once you cook an egg yolk, you're actually losing 2/3 of the choline content. So what I like doing is supplementing with alpha-gpc. I prefer it over the other forms of choline. I've talked about the different forms of choline in this video over here, and you can consider having 1 serving of choline per day, multiple servings per day. It just depends on how you respond to it. I think 150 milligrams is a good serving size without any fear of the negative consequences that may come about it. We also have to understand that a lot of these compounds are still being studied, so we just don't know how healthy they could be for us long term. And with alpha-gpc specifically, there's a lot of discussion around it potentially making it more likely that individuals could suffer from a stroke, and I've addressed that in some of the side effects in this video over here. What I specifically like about alpha-gpc is that there's research showing that it makes you more motivated, it helps you with memory, it helps you with your cognition, and while it may not be a stimulating supplement by any means, and it's not really comparable to the other 3 supplements that I had mentioned earlier, it's a nootropic which balances everything out and ensures that you're not feeling too cognitively taxed as you're going about your day. I use alpha-gpc every single day, and I find that those days when I don't take alpha-gpc for whatever reason, at the end of the day, I feel far more drained than I typically am. In this study, the participants either consumed alpha-gpc or placebo, and the alpha-gpc group found themselves more motivated at nighttime specifically. And the fifth ingredient, and this is probably the least important of the bunch, would be l-tyrosine, and l-tyrosine is an amino acid that's found in chicken breast. It's also found in egg whites and other protein sources. But what happens is when you use l-tyrosine independently, so exclusive of other amino acids, you'll suddenly feel more alert, you'll feel more energized, you'll feel more motivated, and it'll give you that tunnel vision focus for you to be able to easily avoid distractions. As per this anecdote online, somebody had mentioned that they seem that they're more focused and they have more energy to get things done, and this is how I feel as well when I consume l-tyrosine. And this is one of my favorite nootropic supplements. I can't even believe just how effective it is, considering that the side effects are negligible for most people. But some of the side effects you may want to be aware of would be anxiety as well as headaches. The serving size, which I like for this snack, is 1 gram, but 1 gram may be on the higher side for a lot of individuals. It just depends on how you tolerate the supplement. You'll find that common serving size will be between 500 to 750 milligram per capsule. I actually do like the capsule form more than the powder. I find with the powder, it just hits me so fast. I often do get a headache when I take it, but I really like how l-tyrosine makes me feel, especially in combination with some of these supplements. And if you were to ask about the phenols like adrafinol or modafinil, do I feel that modafinil may be superior to this snack? Not necessarily. I find that while modafinil may mentally be arousing, it doesn't give you that same physical stimulation as well as that mood uplift that you experience with the other supplements. And unfortunately, the worst thing about all the phenols is the anxiety that comes about them. And trust that if you are to ingest some of these supplements, especially phenylpirastime, you're already going to feel a little bit anxious. For that reason, I think that combining any of the phenols along with this stack is probably too much for most people, because when you're that anxious, you really can't get anything done. And I'd love to know your thoughts about this supplement stack in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to click subscribe. And if you want to chat with me one-on-one, you can message me on Patreon, and be sure to visit our Discord server where we have a 24/7 chat room sharing a lot of knowledge. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.